The dorms are definitely like historic, but it's like that doesn't mean you can't like renovate the interior. Some of the dorms are horrible. I haven't done this much work in a while. Like sometimes I feel like the kids in my class are a lot smarter than me. When you have 3 problem sets a week, it is that bad. The professor says, "Oh, now that we're done with review." I was like, "What review? All of this is new to me." Let's talk about social scene. There is like no social scene at Harvard. Our dining hall closed at 7:30. 7:30.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's editor Chris from the future. As I'm editing this video right now, I just wanted to say that I see all your comments asking about the stats and ECs video. I promise I'm not ignoring you guys. I will be coming out with the stats and ECs video, but I decided to ask Harvard to see my admissions file so then I can get sort of a 2-in-1 for you guys, my stats and ECs alongside the admissions file too, and also leave you guys some tips as well for admissions. In the meantime, if you guys would like other video ideas, say like interview advice for Ivy Leagues or wherever you're getting interviews from, or if you are deferred and want me to post a video about like what to do if you got deferred, let me know. I promise I'm not ignoring you guys. All right, but back to the video.
How many people are done eating dinner at 7:30? In terms of, say, socioeconomic status, a lot of the people here are decently, like, they have some money. When it gets cold out and the Canada Gooses come out and the Montclair jackets come out, things here are competitive, hyper-competitive.
Yo, what's up, guys? I know I haven't made a video in a long time, but today I'm actually making a video about what my thoughts are on my first semester at Harvard. So I enter Harvard. All right, this is low-key a little contradictory because I'm at Northeastern right now with my boys. You'll say what's up, JJ. So what's up, Isaac. I'm at Northeastern right now, but I'm making a video about the truth about Harvard. So it's a little contradictory, but whatever. So anyways, I enter Harvard like August 22nd. My last day of classes was yesterday. Like, I have no more classes. Yesterday, December 6th. So it's low-key been a good amount of time. But I just wanted to tell you guys more about my experience at Harvard, what it's like being at an Ivy League school, the difficulty, making friends, things like that. So first of all, let's start off with the dorms at Harvard. I definitely feel like the dorms are definitely like historic, but it's like that doesn't mean you can't like renovate the interior. Some of the dorms there, oh my god, are chopped. Some of the dorms are horrible. Like if you make it into Harvard, pray that you don't get Canada. Like I know I have friends in Canada who are like, oh, like it's not that bad. Like they're just coping. All of them are coping. I'm gonna put some pictures up of what Canada looks like. Because oh my god, that's horrible. I'm gonna put pictures like after editing, like right here. But yeah, I think with a school that has so much money, like they should be able to allow their freshmen to like sleep somewhere like nice. But anyways, my dorm, I live in Holworthy. I'll put a picture right here. My dorm is actually not that bad. I actually enjoy it. We have a nice common room. The rooms are nice. The room I picked, I was able to like debunk my bed. The other room isn't able to debunk though. We have like an in-suite bathroom. It's cool. But yeah, I definitely think the freshman dorm situation could be better at Harvard. Even upperclassmen housing still has its flaws. Like they're still renovating some of the houses. But then again, it's like you don't go to Harvard for the buildings, right? You go for the name. You go for the academics. So, let's segue into the academics. This semester I'm taking 4 classes. 2 PSET classes, Life Sciences 1A and Math 1B. Life Sciences 1A is like Integrated Bio and Chem. Math 1B is Calculus 2. And then I'm doing a Gen Ed on confronting climate change and a first-year seminar on the brief history of surgery. So with LS1A, or just my PSET classes in general, I think they're definitely rigorous. Like, I haven't done this much work in a while. Like, compared to my high school was a breeze compared to this. Like, honestly, I haven't done this much work in a while, but like it's difficult, right? But then again, the people who get into Harvard are people who can handle the work. So even though I'm like struggling getting I don't want to curse on here, getting my butt kicked, it's like I'm still able to, like manage it and, like do my best, right? So it's like I started off with like mediocre grades. I was getting like, well, okay, I can't say mediocre grades and then like telling you guys I'm getting like 80s and stuff, because okay, that's mediocre to me because I'm someone like in high school I was getting like higher grades and things like that. but to someone else that might be like extravagant or whatever. But that's mediocre to me. Like I was starting off getting like 80s, things like that. But once like things started to like pick up, I started like realizing, oh, this is how I need to study. I need to do practice questions, flashcards, this and that, right? And then like my grades started going up, and now I'm like averaging like A's, A minuses, things like that. So I'm doing pretty good. But not to say it isn't, like it's very, very difficult. Like, or I might just be an outlier, because sometimes I feel like the kids in my class are a lot smarter than me. They get the piece sets done a lot quicker than me. Like I'm the one who's taking a lot longer on my work and things like that. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, everyone works at different paces. Like I try not to get too much in my own head about like being slower or whatever, because my main goal is just, I come to school to get an education. I'm at Harvard to learn, right? So it's like, if I'm taking my time to understand the material thoroughly, and some other kids might be like rushing through it or whatever, and they say they may not have a complete understanding, like that's okay. Like I'm trying not to like compare myself with like, you know, other students and things like that. Before I get off on too much of a tangent, I'm very glad I added 2 like non-PSEC classes to my course load, because especially Math 1B, Calc 2, you would think Calc 2 is like not that bad. Okay, you would think it's not that bad, right? It's only Calc 2, right? When you have 3 problem sets a week, it is that bad. Each problem set took me about like 3 hours, some took 4. That added up to 9 to 12 hours of work a week. Pair that with tests. We had like tests about every like month. Our first midterm was literally October something. I'm not sure. But that on top of Life Sciences 1A, which was my first time seeing some of like the chemistry and bio material. What shocked me, right? I was in Life Sciences 1A, right? All the material was new to me. I took intro chem in high school. I didn't do honors, I didn't do AP. So the first unit, right, we're going over like chem and stuff like that. And then like the professor says, oh, now that we're done with review. I was like, what review? All of this is new to me. All of this was new. So that like shocked. I'm like, damn, that shocked me. Anyways, before I go off on too much of a tangent, right? I was saying I'm very glad I was able to balance my course load with Calc 2 and Life Sciences, which are 2 PSEC classes. I'm very glad I was able to balance that out with 2 non-PSEC classes, which are my Gen Ed 1094, with Confronting Climate Change. I love the professor, Professor Shrike. He's amazing. I enjoyed the lectures. I learned a lot. And the workload was not bad at all. And in my first year seminar as well, the workload wasn't bad. It was actually a really good class. I'm glad I added those to my schedule. To wrap up academics at Harvard, even though it's only my first semester, right, I can already feel like this shit is intense. I don't want to compare to like other students or people at other schools, but it's like I genuinely feel like me being at Harvard, like, and getting a Harvard education, I feel like I'm learning more than my peers at other schools. I'm not even trying to hate. I just feel like that's the rigor of the Harvard education. I don't know. I'm speaking to this as a perspective of a STEM major. I don't know how humanities majors might have it, but I'm interested in studying chemistry, if you guys didn't know. At first, I came in like molecular and cellular bio or chemical and physical bio, and then like when I was taking Life Sciences 1A, I actually really enjoyed the chemistry portion of it, so I'm thinking of further pursuing chemistry. And I spoke with some professors as well, and they're sort of reinforcing, like, you know, like chemistry this, chemistry that. So I'm thinking I might stay with chemistry. But anyways, aside from academics, that it's academics, right? Bread and butter, right? You know, let's talk about social scene. There is like no social scene at Harvard. There is like no. This is why I'm at Northeastern right now. I'm hanging out with my boys. There is almost no social scene at Harvard. There's like the parties are low-key dry. Everything going on is low-key dead. I'm not gonna lie. The first week, I was carrying the social scene. I was throwing parties in our basement, in the basement of my dorm. My parties had like, I don't know. I want to estimate at least 60 people in attendance. Like the basement was full of like guys and girls like sweating. Some people brought alcohol. I mean, I don't drink. Some people brought alcohol. I mean, like the basement was a spa first couple of weeks of school. But it's like after that, like the social scene, like, low-key, sometimes, like, other schools, like, throw parties and stuff, like, around the area, like Tufts. Some people go to Northeastern. The first couple of weeks, I was finished with partying. Like, after throwing all those parties, I went to some MIT frats. After that, I was done. I was like, what's the point to this? Honestly, didn't enjoy it. I'd rather, like, hang out with my boys and just have a good time. But that's me personally. Some people might really want a social scene. If a social scene is, like, top on your list, don't come to Harvard. If going to college, if the only thing you want is a social scene, do not come here. Because you are either going to have to try really... Actually, I can't say that. It's just... Nah, I wouldn't say that. I retract my last statement. If you're interested in a social scene and you really want to go out and party and stuff, you'll find it. Tufts throws parties, Northeastern throws parties, MIT throws frat parties, BU throws frat parties. You'll find parties, bro. Sometimes Harvard clubs and stuff throw parties. Are they that lit? I don't know. But are they parties? Yes. So you will, if you're a social person who wants to, like, find parties and things like that, that's fine. Anyways, social scene, it's not too great if you're a party person, but it's like, if you're just trying to, like, if you're the type of person who just wants to, like, find, like, friends and stuff like that to hang out and stuff, I think Harvard's fine for that. I have a decent group of friends. I don't know. This is a tough topic for me because even throughout high school, I felt like I had trouble, like, making, like, genuine friends and things like that. And in college, it doesn't seem to be getting too much better. But, I have my friends here and there. But I wouldn't say I have anyone that I'm very, very close to. And that's okay. It's only first semester. I have time to make new friends, I'm going to do my own thing and keep talking to new people and stuff like that. But one thing I learned about college is, like, it's difficult to keep up friendships and things like that. Everyone has their own stuff that they're doing. Everyone's busy. So it's like, if you really want to, like, be friends with someone, you have to push for that. I think this applies to college in general, not just Harvard. But I don't know what I was expecting. I was sort of expecting, like, I'd come to Harvard and I'd instantly, like, find a insane group of people who I'm, like, buddy with and always, like, talking to them and stuff like that. But I guess that wasn't the case. Also, it might be too early to figure out. But bringing that up ties into, so with Harvard, right? We're in our freshman dorms the first semester, and then, we're in our freshman dorms the first year, and then the next year we're randomly assigned to one of the, I think, 12 or 13 upperclassmen houses. So you can choose to have a block, they call it a blocking group. It's like a group of friends who you essentially stay in the same, essentially you guys are placed in the same house together. And it's like, if you have, like, really close friends, like, you can stay in the same house with them and stuff like that. So honestly, I don't know if I've even, like, found, like, a blocking group yet. So it's like, I know some people around me who do have a blocking group and, like, people that they're really close to and already know, like, oh, I want to live in the same house with you. But to be honest, I can't say the same. I honestly don't know if I have a blocking group yet. But that's okay though, because there's still time in college and things like that. But sorry if this video is a little, like, random, because I'm just saying things off the top of my head. If you guys, like, want more detailed things or, like, want specifics, just let me know and I can, like, make a follow-up or whatever. What's next? Food. We can talk about food. So all freshmen eat inside this dining hall called Annenberg Hall. It is not that bad. Some people think it's really bad. I think it depends. Sometimes it's, like, bad. Sometimes it's, like, not too good. Other times it's pretty good. But I think the people who complain about it most are used to, like, top tier food. Like, being at Harvard, you have to realize, like, there's some people who are very privileged here and didn't really have the experience of, like, public school food or food that wasn't that good. Like me, I'm used to public school food, and honestly, compared to public school food, Harvard food is great, and it's, like, unlimited. Like, you have unlimited meal swipes and things like that. So I'm not complaining too much. One thing is that the freshman 15 did not happen to me. You hear this and that, this, that, and the third about freshman 15 this, freshman 15 that, where people gain 15 pounds, like, their first semester at college because they have access to unlimited food. That did not happen to me. If that helps you assess the quality of Harvard's food, let it be. But I'm not saying the quality of our food is horrible. Anyways, sometimes you just have to get creative too with the food options. Like I'll try and put like some pictures of like some meals like I had before in the dining hall. But it's like it's not always like horrible. They always have like grilled chicken, like French fries. They always have like a dessert. So it's like it's whatever. One thing I dislike though is what time it closes. We are college students. We are not like we're eating at like all times, right? It's like my friends at Northeastern, I think their dining hall is open until 10, 10:30. 10:30 they're dining. Guess what time our dining hall closes at 7:30. 7:30. How many people are done eating dinner at 7:30? That's the craziest part to me. So the worst part is it's like when you get so hungry, like you go into like Harvard Square. Harvard Square is like very expensive. So you have Joe's Pizza charging like $4 or $5 a slice of pizza. Pinocchio's charging like $5 a slice of pizza. You have Hefe's. Hefe's is decent. It's like Hefe's and Felipe's are like Mexican spots. They charge like $10 for a bowl, $10 for a burrito. You're a college student who's broke, or okay, I can't say that about all Harvard students, but if you're a broke college student, where are you just gonna generate that money from? Like, where are you gonna like replicate that money from? But that's my personal gripe with it. I feel like a lot of students share the same like sentiment. Like they wish the D hall is open later. We do have something called Brain Break where they offer like light snacks or whatever after 7:30. But it's literally like cereal and marshmallows. Like what nutritional value does that have? Cereal, marshmallows, and like bread, and then they run out after like 10 p.m. So it's like, what's the point? Anyways, what's next? I can talk about on campus jobs. I've worked 3 jobs on campus so far. I've worked for HSA, what is it? Cleaners and Delivery Essentials. I worked for the Mignon Center for Success, and then I worked for HSA Tutoring. So honestly, there's like, if you need a job on campus, like you will get a job on campus. I think it's really good for especially like international students who need like some money to like get by and things like that, or people who like, you know, need like, or just anyone in general who needs like an extra source, or who just needs a source of income on, like during college. I don't think the jobs are too competitive. I'm just like, if you need a job, you'll get one. So it's like it's very laid back, relaxed. But yeah, mainly a lot of the jobs they pay like minimum wage. Some of them pay like 18. I know HSA pays very well. Like they pay like 20 an hour for like their starting roles. Which is pretty good. That's why I started off with HSA, the Cleaners and like Dorms Essentials, whatever. But yeah, I think it was a little stressful at first working like so many jobs. Plus I do private like college consulting and stuff. By the way, quick plug. If you are looking for college consulting advice or whatever, email me at, I'll put it down here, cparazin@college.harvard.edu. So far, 2 of my students one of them has gotten into Stanford through Questbridge, another one has gotten into Columbia through Questbridge. Anyways, aside from that quick plug, yeah, I think managing the jobs on campus I think it was a little much, like alongside coursework and stuff like that. Me personally, when I was a sophomore in high school, ever since then I've been working. So I was so used to working alongside school that I didn't realize like college was low-key like a different ballpark. So I like tried to take on too much. And that's sort of why my grades weren't the like best at the start. But it's like, if I had any advice, it would be like start slow and then like work your way up. So I like dropped some of my positions. I've been like trying to, you know, focus more on me and things like that. I'll probably talk about one more thing before I end this video, and that is, we can talk about diversity, essentially. I think Harvard is I'll talk about diversity and the black community. I think Harvard is incredible at creating a diverse class. There's people from all races, social statuses, people of all genders and gender orientations. There's people like everywhere. There's people from around the world. Me personally, I'm undocumented. Like I was born in Haiti, so it's like there's people from everywhere. And one thing I really enjoy is being able to connect with people who are just. I love being able to connect with different people. Like everyone has a different, you know, background, a different understanding. It's like you can learn so much from someone else who has a different background, which I really enjoy. So I think Harvard does a great job of that, and I'm actually glad I picked this school because I think the diversity here is incredible. Like there's people from everywhere, and I think I do a decent job of like getting to know like different people and like being friends with all different types of people. But then again, you have to. Although I was saying it's diverse, in terms of say socioeconomic status, a lot of the people here are decently like they have some money. They have some money. If you sort of get past that aspect, I don't really focus too much on socioeconomic status, but rather than like race and like where you grew up and things like that. Because you will notice a pattern here that a lot of the students do have money. Like when it gets cold out and the Canada Gooses come out and the Montclair jackets come out, you already know where you're at. But anyways, I don't think it's too like I don't think it's too much of a like off-putting thing that a lot of the students here are rich. I think even though a lot of the students here are rich, it's like a lot of them aren't like snobby about it, which I actually like. So what else? Oh, I was gonna talk about the black community. So the thing, no hate to any single one of my black people watching this video, any single one of my black people from Harvard watching this video. No hate to any single one of y'all. But one thing I noticed about the black community is like I feel like they're very isolated in the sense that they tend to only, I don't want to make assumptions. I just feel like they tend to like make a group with like just other like black people and like don't tend to include like other people of other races or other backgrounds than just like African American or just African or whatever. And that's one thing I didn't enjoy about the black community. They're a very tight-knit community which is very close. They have incredible events. They have incredible programming to like make you feel at home at Harvard. But one thing I wish is there was more multiculturalism at Harvard. I'm wondering if I can generalize this to all schools and like overall, simply because it's like when you find people of like your own race or your own status, you tend to stick around with them, and that leads to a very like non-diverse group. So I'm wondering if what I was talking about earlier about whether it's hard for me to like find my own like group, because I'm someone who, rather than like sticking to one culture, one background or one whatever, I like to engage with all types of people. So I'm wondering if that's what's stopping me from finding my own like personalized group and some people that I'm very close with. But regardless, I think it's not just Harvard in general, but it's like everywhere, right? Like you see people naturally sticking together that with people who look like them, act like them, like whatever, right? So it's like, is that a flaw? I can't say so. Or I wouldn't say so, because it's like, you hang around with people you're comfortable with. But then again, being at Harvard, right? I think you should take advantage of the community at Harvard, right? The diverse groups of people that are at Harvard. So when I see just like specific social groups, like or specific groups just hanging around together with like their own group, right? I sort of, I don't want to say cringe, but it's just like sometimes I feel disappointed, right? It's like you have this incredible opportunity, yet you're wasting it by only sticking into that like one group, which is why I sort of feel, I've told some of my friends this, but sometimes I feel isolated from the black community. Sometimes I feel like an outsider. Not only because it's like, sometimes I don't even consider myself like black because I was born in Haiti. I consider myself Caribbean, or Haitian American. But not only that, but it's like I personally rather like hang around with everyone, like diverse groups, right? While they're like sticking within like one specific group. So that's why I sort of feel isolated, because it's like, if I'm coming here wanting to like talk to everyone, yet this one group is very concentrated in like their own culture, right? I feel like I don't have a place sometimes. But enough of my yapping. Other than that, I think Harvard is fine. It's difficult. People here are I forgot to say, people here are pretty nice. People here are very, very nice. You don't really find like people who are like generally assholes here. I think people here are pretty nice. So it's like, that's another reason why I picked this school. The community is pretty good, even though I haven't found like my say like set like specific group who I like will hang out with all the time. I think people overall are just like nice and amazing. But yeah, it's the people who make Harvard. The academics are difficult, right? Oh, I didn't talk about competitiveness. Things here are competitive, hyper competitive. I didn't compete for a single club this semester because I just wasn't like looking forward to it. We have something called comping, where you sort of compete for a spot in like a club or extracurricular, right? And my roommate, he was comping for an a cappella group, right? He made it to the very last round. He thought he was like close friends with all the members and things like that. He thought he was gonna make it. He was in the dorm practicing until like say like 1-2 a.m. in the morning. I really thought he was gonna make it just for them to deny him. That's the craziest part. People will make it so far and show that they have extreme like talent just to get rejected. And that's one thing about this school. If you concentrate all the high achieving people across the US, or just high achieving people in general, into one school, right? It's incredibly difficult to pick like the top of the top, which is like why I don't like the comping process like in general. I try to stay away from like comping things. I'm looking into things that are like less competitive in a sense. I like a lot of the cultural affinity groups here. Black Men's Forum, I love Black Men's Forum. I love all the dudes there. Like very very cool group. And it's a good like what I was saying before about like multiculturalism and stuff. I wish there, honestly, I can say Black Men's Forum has a good amount of, you know, like a good amount of like say diversity and stuff, because in the Black Men's Forum we accept like every masculine like black man. Like I think sometimes I wish we like fostered more like inclusivity between like other black or other just like races on campus and stuff. But I think it's a decently diverse group in itself. And like looking around, like sometimes I'll be like in the room like during an event looking around like, wow, there's a good amount of diverse people here. But anyways, what I was talking about, things are competitive here, and some people are just like have that competitive nature in them. Like they're hyper competitive. Like I don't know, it might be their background or whatever, but it's like they get a poor grade. Say they get a B+ on a test and they're close to tears. That's insane. So what I started doing is like sort of dissociating from those people, right? Because I don't want to surround myself in that type of environment. I don't really look to comp things that are like too competitive or whatever. I'm a pre-med, so what I do is like I do some volunteering. I'm looking to get into some clinical work, but I'm just looking into things that aren't that competitive. I'm not a competitive person. I don't want to, you know, compete to be the best of the best. I don't want to compete for like the top position. I just try and do my best, you know. So if you're someone who isn't into competitive culture, I will say you don't have to buy into it at Harvard. It does not have to be competitive for you. Yeah, it can very much be as competitive as you make it. You can comp for the top clubs. I have some friends who are comping for some of the most competitive clubs on campus. There are things called like finals clubs. I have some friends who are competing for that. Or who want to be in their upperclassmen years, and they're hyper competitive. But if that's your type of thing, you can go for it, right? But if that's not your type of thing, you don't have to, right? So there's things available for all types of people here, and that's one thing I'll say I enjoy. But I think that's all for my discussion. Harvard is good. Harvard has been good to me. It's like I've been saying many times. The school is hard. It's difficult, but it's enjoyable, right? Like I've had a lot of fun here. I've had a lot of fun, like, you know, just being around friends, even though, like I said, I haven't found, say, my close group of friends yet. Even though I haven't found them yet, I think I've really genuinely enjoyed it. So college overall is just enjoyable. And I think that's it. If you guys have any specific questions at all, leave them in the chat. Leave them in the comments. Why am I saying chat? But yeah, leave them in the comments. I'll try and get back to you guys. Anyways, my email is cparazin@college.harvard.edu. If you're concerned about essay editing, you can ask me about prices there. But generally, I charge about like $8 to review a supplemental essay and like $40 to review a Common App personal statement. And if you And then I usually charge $100 for 3 revisions of a Common App personal statement. And like I said before, students I've helped have gotten into like Stanford and Columbia. So if you're looking for essay editing or just advice in general, let me know. That's all for my discussion. Like I said, if you guys have any comments, if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below, and I'll be sure to get back to every single one of you guys. Thank you so much.